So this will not be a normal word nerd video. This will be more of a look into a concept. So over my life, I've tried to invent languages, like a secret code only I can understand. It started with encoding messages by using words that come from the same root, or mean the same thing in another language. But when I was around 17, I started trying to invent new words entirely, which worked and didn't. In one way, it was kind of organic. I was mutating words I already knew in English, French, and German to fabricate new words, shifting their consonants beyond normal recognition. But this was dissatisfying, because not only did it end up feeling forced, a lot of words were the same as English. It didn't feel like a language, it was more of a code, and no one would have been able to naturally learn it as a language. But I'm older and wiser now, and I better understand how language works. It's not just a big list of words. There's also grammar and syntax and history, and a need for the language to be understood on a natural level. Constructed languages always struggle with these details, but nonetheless, there's a large body of people making conlangs, each with different missions in mind. So let's take a look at conlangs, constructed languages, and see what's going on with them. When people think of a made-up language, the first thing they'll probably think of is Klingon from Star Trek, or maybe Elvish from Lord of the Rings. They're made-up, fictional languages that serve to flesh out a story, or add more flavor to a character. In fact, Tolkien built the Lord of the Rings universe to create a culture and history and story for his own constructed languages. A little known fact, J.R.R. Tolkien was a huge freaking nerd and called creating fake languages his secret vice. Something he had done since the age of 12. Many stories since Lord of the Rings have copied this idea, ranging from Star Trek to Game of Thrones to the Avatar with the Na'vi and tons of others. But I have issues with these fictional made-up languages. Sure, people can learn and speak them, but in reality, these languages are mostly similar to my made-up languages I made in study hall in high school. They're English with vocab switched out for gobbledygook. Sure, Tolkien being a scholar, he made specific grammars for his languages, but he wasn't making them to be spoken, and he wasn't making them from scratch. He used Finnish as a base for Elvish vocabulary, and he mostly just wrote poetry with it. His son had to go through and finish it, because all that they had were those poems, and his son decided that it needed to be a fleshed out language so that people could speak it. And sure, Klingon sounds alien. It's got weird sounds in it. But it has words for 11 and 12, has 5 vowels that form diphthongs, and a 26-letter alphabet. Russian is more alien than Klingon. While most conlangs are fictional, some exist in the real world too. One of the first ever constructed languages to make a major impact on the world was something called Esperanto. In 1905, a book was published by a Polish man named L.L. Zamenhof, titled Unwa Libro. It was a book published in 5 languages, meant to be understood by most Europeans. He mixed a concoction of Romance, Germanic, and Slavic vocab and grammar, and produced a language that had 3 goals. 1, to render the study of the language so easy as to make its acquisition mere play for the learner. 2, to enable the learner to make direct use of his knowledge with people of any nationality, whether the language be universally accepted or not. In other words, the language is to be directly a means of international communication. And 3, to find some means of overcoming the natural indifference of mankind and disposing them in the quickest manner possible and en masse. To learn and use the proposed language as a living one, and not only in last extremities, and with the key at hand. So, that's his flowery language. He essentially wanted to make a language that everyone in Europe could speak and would bring them all together in brotherhood and harmony, just in time for the First World War. And you know what? He did a good job. Every year, new books are being published in Esperanto, and people legitimately speak it. Now, I have a few qualms with Esperanto. One, it's very Eurocentric. I can read it because I can read French, and I have some German, and I have some Russian vocabulary in my head, but I know that someone from China, or someone from India, or someone from Nigeria would have trouble understanding Esperanto. And if the point is world peace, then how are we supposed to include the whole world if we're only taking from European languages?
I forgot my second point.
Which led me to ask myself what I would do if I were to invent a worldwide constructed language myself. Now I know this is a giant task, and I have no qualifications to do it, but I'm going to start a conversation about it and see what happens. So the first thing I would do if I was making a language that everyone in the world could use is I would try to make the words in this language as simple as possible. I'd focus on sounds that exist in many languages, and I make the words flow in a syllabic consonant vowel pattern, right? Like, think like kind of like how Japanese sounds, right? To give you an example of how that might sound, where it's like to, pa, kaki, and babopaka, like easy to say, easy to string together words. Many languages go to great lengths to make words easy to say. French will even throw in extra letters just to make it easy to say. That's silly. I don't like that. And in English, we have a and and for like words that have a vowel in the beginning. No, that's unnecessary. Too many things. Skip that. Make all the words start with a consonant and end with a vowel. This will make it sound like Japanese, but that's okay. They have a good speaking system. 2. Write in the Latin alphabet. This is a step in a Eurocentric direction, but it's the most widespread writing system globally, and we write the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, using the Latin alphabet. So it makes sense. Also on the same track, get rid of sounds that are two consonants smashed together. In English, we have the SH, CH, TH. Other languages have other ones, like in Czech you have the CZ, in French you have the CH, but it goes sh. Get rid of that. Just make one letter, one sound. Works better like that, in my opinion. 3. Pick vocabulary that's a cognate with as many languages as you can. Words like sugar, coffee, chocolate, tea. They're used in a bunch of languages globally. And we can use these words to demonstrate how we would build words in this language. So, for example, sugar might just be suga, and chocolate might be chocola, and maybe we can make the CH sound, so we can still say chocola, because otherwise, what else is C doing? It's going S or it's going K. We already have letters for that. Use C to go ch. I know I'm not the first person to say that, but you know what I mean. Tea, coffee, coffee. Very easy. And another word that we can hit real quick, pineapple. A lot of languages use the same word for pineapple. Anana. That fits perfectly. It starts with a vowel, but that's okay. We don't have to stress too hard because that word already exists in a lot of languages. It'd be easy for people to understand. For the rest of the vocab, use the most spoken languages in the world. English, Spanish, Hindi, Arabic, and Mandarin Chinese. That was in no particular order. This is kind of a step towards like a Eurocentric line of thinking and an Esperanto line of thinking. But this will help words become easier for people to learn because a lot of people speak those languages. And I didn't mention French or German because I already mentioned Spanish and English, and those are Romance and Germanic languages, respectively. And 5, make a grammar that jives with as many large global languages as possible. So this will either be subject, verb, object, or subject, object, verb. Either way, stick to that and never let go. Also, do that thing that Spanish, Russian, and Arabic do, where the subject is implied in the conjugation of the verb. I think that will help simplify the language even further. Less small words, more words that are ideas. I think that will make a language easier to learn. But I don't know. I'm not a linguist. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'm making this a Reddit post. Comment on the Reddit post too. I'll be reading all of those. I'll probably make a video about this later from the feedback I get. But let's start a conversation and keep it going. I think it'd be really cool to try to imagine a language that everybody could speak and understand together. Thank you for watching, Word Nerd. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notifications of when I upload, which is every Monday, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.